In one of the Strange Loop conference talks, Joe Armstrong talks about the mess we are in. He mentioned how complexity arises because of the increased amount of states your computer can be in.
Right? It's got state. But how many states has it got? Well, it's got an awful lot of states. Okay, so a finite state machine is a state cross event, and you get a new state. And so the number of states that my little laptop here has got 250 gigabytes of flash memory on it. So the number of states it can be in is 2 to the 250 giga times 8. Right? And the number of atoms in the universe is, say, about 2 to the 260. And that means you need 2 to the, whatever that number is, it's unreadable, universes to find 2 computers that have the same state.
The rising level of complexity applies to front-end development as well. If you have an error from a library when you bundle your application, you will have to consider the Node.js version, the package manager, the framework, and the bundler you're using. So, what is the status of front-end development nowadays, and do we have so many possible states to consider it a mess? To answer that question, let's review what are the options that we have nowadays as a front-end developer. First, let's talk about languages. There are many languages used for front-end development. This variety of languages is due to the web's evolution and front-end developers' need. For example, CSS was created to style HTML pages, but as websites became more complex and dynamic, preprocessors such as Sass, Less, and Stylus were created to make writing CSS easier and maintainable. Templating languages such as Pug and Handlebars were introduced to make it easier to generate HTML code by providing simpler syntax and the ability to reuse code snippets. You have 3 different types of languages on the web: scripting, style, and templating languages. Here is an incomplete list of those languages. For scripting, we have JavaScript, TypeScript, CoffeeScript, PureScript, Elm, ClojureScript. For styling, we have CSS, Sass, Less, Stylus, a number of CSS and JS libraries like Style Components, GSS, Emotion, Styled GSX, CSS modules with PostCSS. For templating, we have HTML, GSX with React, EGS, Handlebars, Pug, Mustache. We have many choices for front-end development tools, and this is especially true regarding bundlers. Vite is a relatively new bundler that prioritizes speed and ease of use. Webpack, on the other hand, is a much more mature and feature-rich and flexible bundler that can handle complex and large projects. Rollup is optimized for generating smaller and faster bundles, making it a good choice for libraries. The choice of bundler often comes down to the specific needs of a project and the developer's preferences. So a developer who values simplicity and speed and is not afraid of trying new things might choose Vite, while a developer who needs to handle a large and complex project may prefer Webpack. Frameworks are essential tools for modern web development. They provide a set of standardized components, libraries, and tools that can simplify the development process and help developers create better and more efficient web applications. One of the key benefits of using a front-end development framework is that it provides a well-defined structure for building applications, making it easier to develop and maintain code. This structure can include components for everyday tasks such as routing, state management, and styling, reducing the code developers must write from scratch. Another benefit of frameworks is that they can provide performance and speed. By providing optimized and efficient solutions for common tasks, frameworks can reduce the time and resources needed to create and run web applications. A framework can also make collaborating and sharing codes between developers easier. By providing a standardized and well-documented architecture, frameworks can ensure that all developers work with the same tools and practices, making it easier to understand and maintain each other's code. Here's an incomplete selection of those frameworks. The primary purpose of a package manager is to manage dependencies for a software project. A package manager makes it easier for developers to manage these dependencies by automating tasks like installing packages, version management, dependency resolution, and package distribution. The most commonly used package manager for JavaScript are npm, which is a default package manager for Node.js and is installed automatically with it, Yarn, which is created as an alternative to npm, focusing on speed and reliability, and pnpm, which is built to solve some problems with npm, such as the large size of node modules folders. Is it innovation or is it a mess? All of those options were born out of a need. At some point in time, they provided an innovation. But how many combinations of front-end setup can we now have as a result of this innovation? If we take, let's just say, 4 scripting languages, 7 styling languages, 5 templating languages, 10 frameworks, 3 bundlers, and 3 package manager, we end up with roughly 12,000 different combination possibilities for a setup in terms of front-end development. I know those figures are not completely accurate because if you're using a framework, let's just say React, technically you will probably use JSX as a templating language. You can use Pug with React, but I'm pretty sure no one is actually doing it. So to get a conservative numbers, I think we can divide all of that by 100 and say there is probably at least 126 combinations possible. Despite the relative popularity of open source, front-end development appears unproductive and really needs to be more collaborative. One solution is definitely not ideal for everything. But the problem is when at the slight improvement possible, instead of looking into incorporating all the changes into another existing open source framework, the solution is to create another library, another bundler, framework, package manager. I'm going to leave you with one question and I'm really curious to know your opinion about it. Among the dozen existing JavaScript frameworks, do you think they all provide unique benefits that couldn't be found or merged into another?